Hello everyone, it's Simon here. Welcome to a brand new video on Broke AF. So in today's video we're gonna talk about something different. So first thing first, I want to say this video is kinda themed. So if you don't know, something is coming up which is Halloween, which is probably my favorite holiday ever. Something that I really love is music. So I decided to try and combine the two things in this video, and if you guys like this kind of moment that I'm trying to do, which is kind of gonna be an album review, and you enjoy it and you let me know in the comments down below, obviously, I can try and do more of this kind of things. I have so many physical copies of albums, but I also have Spotify, so I can listen to many albums if you guys want me to review a specific album that you like. And I would really love to do more of these kind of videos because I love music, and in this case this album is actually themed around Halloween. So if you don't know, there is this, I guess, lesser known, she's not really known, but she does have amazing music out. She is Petras, as you know from the title of the video, and she released an album that is amazing and I love it so much, and she released it on the 1st of October this year in the full version. She released part of it last year around this time. So the album is called Turn Off the Lights. You can obviously listen to it right now. I'm gonna leave some links down below. Spotify, I think it's on Apple Music, you can buy it. And you can support the artist also on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. If you want to support this artist, I'm gonna leave all her links down below, so you can go follow her if you like what I'm gonna talk about. I don't know if I'm gonna put some music in the background that it's from hers. I think I'm gonna try. Hopefully the copyright strikes are gonna be fair. But we're gonna do that so that you guys can listen a little bit to the kind of the beat, the music, because it is very themed and it's kind of connected, so the sound is kind of similar throughout the entire songs. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna give you the name of the song, a little description, my opinion on it, and a vote out of 5, I think I'm gonna do, so that you can review a little bit with me. And if you want to do it with me as well, you can put on the album and listen to it. And now you can tell me in the comments down below what you think about each song and what is your favorite song. So the first song on the album, on the full version, is Purgatory. So Purgatory is an instrumental album. It's the first song that you listen to. It is definitely instrumental, and it is kind of an introduction to the sound and the style of the entire LP. It has a very cool, dark electro bass. It's probably one of the best tunes, the actual track is so good. It's probably one of my favorite in the entire album, and I guess it is also kind of a shame that it's just an instrumental and not an actual track with lyrics, and she doesn't sing it or anything, and it's not even that long. I get it, it's an instrumental and it's the introduction of the album, but I would have loved for it to be another song that it's actually sang and she performs, because I really love it. It is very unique, it's very dynamic, it changes so much just in seconds. The music and the sounds change so much, and I think it could have easily been a pop. So I'm gonna rate this song 4 out of 5, which is pretty good considering it's an instrumental song, and I think this is the highest I'm gonna rate any instrumentals in this album. So the second song is There Will Be Blood, which, oh my god, the transition between Purgatory into There Will Be Blood is amazing. I love it so much. It's super seamless. It feels like it's a one track that continues. It is the first track that is actually sung in the album, so it's the first time that you actually hear Kim Petras' voice. It is a very electropop with some influences of dark pop and clear EDM, which it's a theme that is throughout the entire album. You can find it, this EDM dark pop theme. The lyrics, obviously, as you can tell from the title, are very spooky, are very on theme, but it's also a very danceable song and very upbeat. So I really love this song, and I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. The next song is Bloody Valentine. Bloody Valentine is a very big change of pace in my opinion from There Will Be Blood. It does still transition pretty seamlessly between the two songs, but this one is a pure electronic mid-tempo. It has distorted vocals, very dark, very creepy, and the vocals are also used as part of the beat. I guess it is in general a little bit less memorable, and it's because it's very repetitive, because the lyrics are just bloody Valentine, you're my bloody Valentine, which is kind of repetitive, and so it doesn't really stick to you as well as other tracks do. This Bloody Valentine gets 3 out of 5. Now it's Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn, it has again another amazing seamless connection to Bloody Valentine, which is the song just before, because Bloody Valentine finishes off with the sound of an engine of a car starting, and in Wrong Turn you hear like a car scene going on, like the car is going, and then you hear like a screech and a halt and a crash. So you can imagine that there is some kind of accident happening, and it makes sense with the name Wrong Turn. It has a very, very cool piano, very mysterious and cool and weird, that is all throughout the track, and is definitely heavily 80s electronic music inspired. It still keeps up very well with the creepiness and weird vibes from the other songs before it, and the refrain is super catchy, so I give it 4 out of 5. So then we have parentheses, this weird parentheses, demons, weird parentheses. This is another instrumental song. I love the bass for this song. It is almost 100% instrumental, and it's very grungy, very dark. It kind of reminds me of the music, like the tracks from Art Pop by Lady Gaga. That is very electropop, dark pop inspired. There are some lines of dialogues that are taken from the 1988 horror movie Night of the Demons that talk about demon possession, and I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Then we have Massacre, which as soon as I say the title I just start singing it, which is great, and I can define this song with the word creepy, and I think creepy really describes the entire mood and the entire feel of this song. It follows the melody of the Christmas song Carol of the Bells, which is, in my opinion, probably the creepiest song in the existence, and definitely the creepiest song that is related to Christmas. Who thought that was a good idea? Carol of the Bells is so creepy. Why would you want it to relate to Christmas? Especially in the verses, it has this very urgent tone that Carol of the Bells has. Is a kind of slow building mid-tempo, and personal opinion, I find it the creepiest in the entire album. So for Massacre, be a massacre, gonna be a massacre, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. So then we have Knives. Knives, again, there is a very cool transition with Massacre and Knives, with the knife sounds actually. And Knives is another instrumental. It has very cool knives sound because of the name that are used in the beat, but halfway through it the beat does take over the knife sounds and it becomes a little less unique, because of I really enjoyed the fact that we had knife sounds in it. So the fact that we suddenly just deleted them, I don't feel like it feels like any other instrumental that are gonna be in this album, and instead we only have knives at the start and at the end, and I feel like it's not really the same, so I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. Then we have, oh my god, Death by Sex. Oh my god. So I'll admit the lyrics are not the greatest in the album, and the first time that I listened to it I just laughed aloud because it's very silly. Like literally the refrain is death by sex, ooh, death by sex. Like, okay, you get it. I think it's still a very cool song, and it feels still, it has some of the creepy atmosphere still, like kind of the spooky factor. It's definitely lower than other tracks in the album, like Massacre. It's not like disconnected, and it's not the fact that the lyrics are a little bit more sexy and I guess they not really on themed like other songs are. I was worried when it first started that it was gonna be like a super dumb song, dumb like air quotes, because dumb in the sense that it was gonna talk all about sex, and it does, but it still feels kind of creepy, kind of eerie, so I'm not too mad about it. It is definitely the most EDM trap even leaning than other tracks, especially in the refrain, because there is a voice auto-tune effect, which is very used in trap music. The final words are spoken, and there is a reference to a track that is coming after, which is Close Your Eyes. In both songs, there are the words, "The devil always wins." So for Death by Sex, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Then we have Omen. It is the first instrumental of the second part of the album, which was released last year. It's the first part of the album, but its second feels a very good connection between the two parts. Still considering that this was released last year, and in part 1, harmonies that are in the end with the harmony in the voices is very creepy, and I feel works very well with the bass. So that's a very big plus for me, considering that this is an instrumental, so it's definitely gonna get lower points. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 for Omen. So now we have Close Your Eyes. So Close Your Eyes is definitely one of the most memorable songs in the entire album. The lyrics are cool, the production is more dance pop than previous songs, less like super creepy, but the atmosphere, especially in the bridges and the refrain, it's so eerie. It's kind of creepy, like you can feel kind of creepy, but then you can dance to it because it's super dancey. Especially like this second part of the album is gonna be more dancey and less creepy, so the listener can really understand that we are not gonna hear some weird experimental, maybe even dark electronic pop, but we're gonna get some dancey music. So Close Your Eyes gets a 5 out of 5 for me. Next track we have Transylvania. Transylvania is another instrumental interlude, I guess. It has an amazing, cool synthesized guitar, electric guitar, that comes out halfway through the song. I love that sound. I find it so creepy, and it really makes me freak out. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel so weird. I think it's one of the cooler instrumental in the album, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. So then we have Turn Off the Lights, guys. So this is the title track, and it's definitely the most iconic song in the album, at least for me. It is a very dark pop meets grungy EDM, and it's very up-tempo, so it's very danceable. It's super catchy, super danceable. I'm super excited. I was super excited at first when I saw it, and I'm super excited every time that I think about it, that this is a collaboration with Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, that serves a couple of awesome, cool, creepy lines before we get to the 3/4 into the songs. When Elvira talks, it breaks down the beat, and we have a stripped down chorus immediately after it by Petras. If you don't know who she is, do you know Morticia Adams? She was inspired by her. Elvira was a TV presenter that would do this, I think it was towards midnight on TV. She would do this segment presenting horror movies and horror flicks and stuff. So she would have this very dark atmosphere, and she would come out with this big black hair, the red lip, and the black dress, and being all eerie and talking about we're gonna see the death and this and that, and she would present the movies, and I think that was one of the most iconic characters in American television. You can clearly tell how much she impacted pop culture, because not only because of Morticia Adams that came after her, the Simpsons parodied her. Let's say that the Simpsons, when they parody somebody, you know, you made it. Let's say it. So Turn Off the Lights definitely get a 5 out of 5. Then we have Tell Me It's a Nightmare. Again, one of the most iconic songs in the album. Just after the title track, I'm gonna put Turn Off the Lights, Tell Me It's a Nightmare right here. The sound is it reminds me a lot of the 80s electropop scene, but it does keep with the creepy, spooky theme, so it doesn't really go too much towards the 80s. It's probably the song where Petras uses her voice the best. I really like how she delivers the line. The voice is very clean, so I'm gonna again give it a 5 out of 5. Then we have I Don't Wanna Die, which is another interlude with barely any lyrics, another instrumental, I know. And at this point, I was kind of getting fed up with instrumentals as well. Like, we're getting 2 songs and then an instrumental, and then 2 songs and then an instrumental, and then 1 song and then an instrumental. And also, I feel like it reminds me a lot of Transylvania, which is much better, and we just listened to it. There are so many other instrumentals in this album that are much more interesting and unique and have their own characteristics. This is just I don't know, I really don't like it, and I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. Then we have In the Next Life. So this is the first actual mid-tempo, like it's actually slower than the other songs. The other songs are much more like upbeat. It actually kind of feels like a ballad at points. I wouldn't say it's a ballad just because of the verses that are much more cool and very much more mid-tempo than ballad. And I really love the bridges that sound like ghosts almost. I really love that. I love the way the verses are sung with this kind of robotic voice. There is this effect on Kim Petras' voice that make it feel like robotic and kind of cold almost. While the chorus is much more slower, much more even sadder, I would say, and it reminds me of indie tracks, maybe even. Like, it reminds me kind of Cake by Melanie Martinez or Teen Idol by Marina Diamonds. The second verse is sung in German, which is her first language because she is from Germany. And it translates to, I'm gonna read it, your time is up, I am your nightmare, I am your omen, if you see me better start running, believe it, say your last words now, I get what I always wanted and I'm at end of your days, I am the disease, I am the plague. And basically she is explaining that she's dangerous and you should stay away. So for In the Next Life, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. Sorry guys if now I changed the position of the camera, but my camera stopped recording without me touching it. I don't know what's up with that. Never happened. It's kind of creepy, honestly. So next up is Boobage. So when I heard the title first and I read it on my Spotify, I was like super excited for this song to come up because it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like Boobage, like super like sassy song, like creepy, but like, oh yeah, we don't care, like, but I don't know, like something like that. But in the end, it turns out it was just another instrumental interlude. And honestly, at this point, I was tired of interlude. I feel like it wasn't really necessary at this point. Like, we heard like one track before the album finishes off, okay? There, this one and then the last one. And I feel like it wasn't really necessary. Also, it's not unique, it's just like any other tracks. I feel like it's so boring. For Boobage, 1 out of 5, sorry. So we're now at the last song. It's called Everybody Dies, which is a mid-tempo that sometimes also feels like a ballad. It has a very weird production for the closing song of the album. When you're like have listened to this entire album, that is super creepy and eerie and spooky, and it has all these vibes and the lyrics are like that. It ends like, it is a very like stark, definite break from the album for me. Like, the lyrics are kinda like, they keep with the themes, kinda, not really even, but like the atmosphere of the song and the bass and everything, it's just not there. I don't feel it's creepy. It actually, like, a very good analogy, it feels like the song that you would have to put on at your party when it becomes November 1st and it's no longer Halloween. And I don't want to feel like that when I'm at my party listening to this album. I feel like I just don't love this song. I don't feel it's connected to the rest of the album. It's too much disconnected, especially like if you listen to the album all the way through. It just feels such a stark moment. So I'm gonna give Everybody Dies a 2 out of 5. Now it's time to give like a final vote for the entire album. So I'm gonna give 2 votes for this one because of the many instrumentals in this album. So the match instrumentals that should have been cut album is gonna get a 3.5 out of 5, which is still good. While if we take away all the instrumentals, it just listens to the songs, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, just because Everybody Dies, I feel like ruins the entire thing. Otherwise I would have probably given it a 5 out of 5, honestly. So this is my review of Turn Off the Light by Kim Petras. I have so much fun doing this video, and hopefully you guys liked it. If you have listened to this album, let me know in the comments what are your opinions, and if you don't have this album in your Halloween playlist, put it right now in your Halloween playlist. So I would love to do more, so if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below that, what other albums you would like to see. I have so many albums that I could do, like I have actual physical copies that I can listen to. And hopefully you guys agree that I did a decent job with this. I'm not like an expert in music, I just really love it. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys like it. So I guess this is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Put on notifications so that you know when the next video is coming out, and it's coming out soon. Hopefully we have another video for Halloween. I don't know if I can do that. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.